This is a radio, and on this radio there are different dials, okay? So if you could hear that. And these dials are picking up frequencies. Okay, so we can go to FM or another AM, and it will pick up frequencies that we can't hear, but they're there. And so when we have this radio, and we are like a radio, so if you imagine yourself to be like this radio, and what that means is this box contains energy, and in this box is the ability to send out like an antenna and pick up frequencies. And we are, our physical body is like this box. It's a vehicle for energy and light. And because we're made of light, light is information. Darkness is lack of information. So, imagining for a moment, I'm going to tune in to this radio. Now this radio works on, it's one of them apocalypto radios. It doesn't have a battery or a plug. Now, I'm going to find the highest vibration possible. Let's say that's it, okay? So now my antenna's up. I found the frequency I want. Let's say that's the frequency of love, frequency of wisdom. Whatever you want to tune into, it's there. Now, when I tune into that station, that box is now broadcasting that frequency. So let's go to something a bit more relatable.
You know, and we do have massive lineups in those. Now, you find the headliners tend to be on a little bit later, but people go early. So
now, I don't want to listen to that, okay? Exactly. That's exactly the frequency of that, what he's talking about. So, you get the idea. This body is a vessel, and in this vessel is energy, just like in this. How can that box pick up anything? Because its energy is in this box. Everything's made of energy. Here's the antenna. We have an antenna inside of us in the pineal gland. There's your antenna. Now I'm going to search for a frequency. If I search and I tune into a frequency of, let's say, the news, then I broadcast that frequency. If I tune into the news and the papers and what the media is telling me and all of that stuff, I become a radio transmitter for that frequency. That frequency is now in my body, you know, hertz, it's in my body. And now I'm broadcasting that frequency out into my friends, into the environment. Wherever I go, I'm releasing that news because it's in me. I've tuned into that frequency. But when I've learned that I can create my own reality, and when I've learned and understood and accepted that I am like an energy transmitter, and that whatever I tune into is what I'm broadcasting into this 3D space and time, where there's things, you know, that I can touch, 3D space and time, linear time, you know, things, material things. Here we go. So now, I, say this is me or you, I'm going to charge myself up with the meditation. I see you. See that? Now the light comes on. I charged myself up with the meditation. I'm now going in to get the channel, the light family channel, family of light. And I'm going to find the frequency. How do I find the frequency? I tune in and I call it in. And when I tune into the frequency that I can feel that oneness, that expansion, that elevation, when I find that frequency, my whole body, I suddenly don't have a body. You're not aware of your body. You go beyond this 3D matter, space and time. When I tune into that frequency, right, I can still see you. When I tune into that frequency, I then emit that frequency. I tune into the family of light. I then release that frequency into my environment. So you are whatever you're tuning into. You are 98 FM. I am the Beba frequency, and I am tuning into the family of light, the highest frequency available. But if I tune into RTE in Ireland, local radio station, I become one of those boxes for them. And I become what they're saying, and my whole being believes everything, and everything in my body is in agreement with what they're saying, because I've tuned into that frequency. Everything is frequency, everything is energy. Even Einstein said that frequency will be the medicine of the future. He knew what he was talking about. All of these great minds think alike. And so today I tune into the frequency, and I call in the pillar of light, and I align myself with that. And when I've learned how to do that, because you don't just do it, you've got to learn how to do it. You've got to take time to meditate, go in, clean out all the noise. There's a lot of noise. Clean out all the wave patterns, all the frequencies that you're tuning into, because there are many. Clean yourself out, align to the highest frequency, and then you broadcast that into this place. That's when you see the change. That's when you see people lighting up. That's when you see healing and miracles and awakenings and spiritual transformation. And the more people that are tuning into the same frequency, the more this place is going to change. So here's an example. Say if you've got 8 billion people tuned into one station, 8 billion people are broadcasting that frequency, and that frequency becomes a thing, because thoughts become things. So fear is a control mechanism that's used to keep people locked in. And so when they throw in a fear bomb for whatever it is, and everybody's tuning in and what's going to happen, and everybody's now tuning into the fear bomb of whatever's happening in the environment. And whoever is listening to that now is that frequency and is broadcasting more fear, more disharmony, more confusion, more chaos, more distortion. You got to learn to withdraw yourself from what you're seeing in this environment. Go in, align with the light, and broadcast that frequency. And that's how you're going to see change in your life. You can say, well, today's going to be a great day. Everything's always working out for me. Everything's always working out for me. It's Abraham Hicks, right? Everything's always working out for me. Everything's always working out. And then you watch the news, and then you read the newspaper, and everything's always working out for you, but it's not. How can it be working out for you if you keep plugging into the news feed that's called fear, terror, illusion, separation? Forget about that. Forget about everything else. Tune into yourself. Recap. This radio now is dead. It's dead. There's nothing. Okay? There's no batteries in it. This is what we're like. We're tuning into something. You have to tune into something. I'm going to meditate. As soon as I meditate, the light comes on. The light's being recognized for what it is. All the lights are on. I'm now tuning in. I'm making an intention, creating an intention to tune in to the highest frequencies available. And when I hit that sweet spot, when you just go, wow, when you meditate and you tune in and you catch that frequency of change, of love, of transformation, of hope, of oneness, that's the frequency you hold on to, and you marinate in that frequency and you become that. And then you no longer need to have an antenna out there, because you are that frequency. You are that frequency. Message from the family of light. Message from the family of light from me to you. God bless.